Hey everyone, welcome back to But Why the Reviews. Today we're going to talk about anime. We're going to talk about Spy Family Code White. I almost said Spy X Family. I'm Kate and I'm here with Raphael.
Uh,
Raphael, why don't you let people who are watching this know what you do?
I'm a film critic slash entertainment journalist, whatever people pay me to do. And I write for Slash Film, IGN, New York Times, IndieWire, and a bunch of other sites, including this one.
And you may have seen him on our Fallout review as well, which you can go and check our absolutely correct opinions on in our little playlist thingy. But today we're going to talk about the adorable fake family that has my heart, Spy Family. Raphael, what were your expectations for this feature film? It's the first one for Spy Family, even though we've gotten them for other ones, but other Shonen series, I mean. What were your expectations?
Yeah, I think like with most shonen movies, I was expecting it to be just an extended episode of the show, really. Just a fun, forgettable adventure. Um, I mean, I wanted to see cute Anya reactions. I wanted to see Joran and Lloyd being the best non-couple on television. And I wanted to see some cool action. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was too, and I think it's why it's been like pretty hard because like I know that Spy Family is a shonen series, but it feels very different because I feel like it is living in a lot of, I guess, like more like Western genres of storytelling. So I don't feel like the shonen archetype for like a hero structure, the hero narrative that we usually get with like some of your more battle shonen, clash shonen, like all of those things that we see more typically. And so when I came to coming into a film, I kind of didn't know how they were going to work it in because I felt like all of it has to be I prefer that when they're canon. I was like, this could be canon. Is it going to be original? So it's kind of all over the place, but I just know that I love this family like a lot and I love Loid a lot. So I knew it was going to show up. So the quick synopsis is he's a spy, she's an assassin. Together, Loid and York keep their double lives to themselves while pretending to be the perfect family. However, their adopted daughter Anya, a telepath, knows both of their exciting secrets unbeknownst to them. While under the guise of taking his family on a weekend winter getaway, Lloyd's attempt to make progress on his current mission, Operation Strix, proves difficult when Anya mistakenly gets involved and triggers events that threaten world peace. Um, this movie is like half Dennis the Menace, half Mission Impossible, and I really love it. Raphael, what did you love about it, coming off of your expectations and
So
everything else?
as you were saying, I think what really hit me watching this movie was like, oh, this is not a shonen movie. This is not the latest One Piece movie that sort of makes some big reviews and then nobody cares about it 5 minutes
Yeah.
later. This is the Brady Bunch movie. This is the SpongeBob movie. This is the whatever American sitcom that you like that got a movie equivalent of an anime movie. And I think that works really well here. It is still very much an extended episode of the show, but because this is I mean, that one of the reasons I love Spy Family as a show is that it is so episodic. And I know we've had conversations about whether or not that's a good thing in the long run for the
Yeah.
manga. But watching the anime, I think like this is one of the few experiences nowadays when I can just watch an episode and not care about whether or not this is building up to something or whether or not
Yeah.
I need to remember the previous season that came out 3 years ago, whatever. I can just enjoy the episode. Same with the movie, just feels like what if we just took an episode, make it a fun little adventure, and essentially do like most American sitcom movies did, make the take them on holiday. And some
Yes.
wacky stuff happens on holiday that will not normally happen on the day-to-day lives. But the beauty here is what always happens to them
Yes.
anyway. Like it makes sense that somehow Anya will get involved in a plot that may threaten World War III. It makes sense that Lloyd will get so involved in the mission that he ends up inadvertently causing Anya's involvement in a plot that may result in war. It makes sense that all this wacky stuff happens because I just like what they do. And I think what the movie does really well is like it captures the tone of the movie of the show where it feels like when I say that it feels like an extended episode, I mean that in a good way. Like it
Yeah,
feels like this is just like watching a big budget version of the show
exactly.
that, as you said, like it could be canon, and even if it isn't, it just like the show doesn't acknowledge what happens the previous week anyway. So this is just like another adventure that happens, and it doesn't matter that like they almost caused World War III. Like it's just another week in their life.
Yeah, I think I think one of the crazy things for me is like I love Spy Family. Obviously I have an Anya t-shirt, but I like season 2 kind of like teetered out for me because I was just like, oh, I feel like we're getting in, it's too repetitious. It feels too derivative. And I'm not current with the manga, but I did love the manga because there was at least some little buildups that I feel like sometimes the anime series is sometimes too episodic, which we have talked about. But when I watched this, it made me rethink season 2 into like what you're saying, where it's like, no, like this is just good fake family content. This is good, like what the film did was it made me appreciate all of the quirkiness and weirdness of the second season in a way that I hadn't when I first watched it. And I think by having a longer runtime, it lets each of the characters really, really shine and kind of develop themselves not against each other, but like on their own. And I think by giving them each this very specific genre to play into within the larger story, really benefits it as well. And I think that that's something that like I like as somebody who is still viscerally angry that Loid and Yor are not actually a thing yet. I do like what you see like in this movie because like Yor gets jealous and it's so cute. And she
She's the
blushes.
most oblivious human being on the
She is.
planet.
She's adorable. I love her. She can kill you, but has no idea what's going on, like in any other way, and cannot cook to save her life. And but I think what this does is it gives them all personalities outside of each other and then connects them all. And I think sometimes the show too much makes everything interdependent, where certain characters just feel like they're there to propel a narrative instead of be active in the narrative. And I think that that falls in a lot for Yor. It also falls in a lot for Anya. Because obviously she's a telepath who knows everything that's going on, but sometimes she's kind of like a football just getting passed around from everything that's happening. And I feel like in Code White, very specifically, she has more agency. She's doing more, at least she's trying to. And I think that by giving her more dedicated time and allowing it to be absolutely stupid weird in like the best ways, like you're in a little kid's mind. And then you're watching Loid do like Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible stunts, and then you're watching Yor have like a mecha battle, I guess. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing because when I talk about it like that and I see it like that, none of this should work as cohesively as it does. And that's what makes it exciting.
I mean, yeah, that's why I mentioned like the sitcom movie
Yeah.
because that's what they do. Like they tend to do like over the top things to justify them being a movie, not just another episode. But the fact is that we seen them do that kind of thing before. Like the fact that so many people were saying that why wasn't the cruise arc from season 2 a movie? That could have
Yeah.
been a movie. But I think that that arc was so as you were like to what you were alluding to, like so dependent on the very slow but still build up of that season. And you were saying like it was so much not a content, but like a continuous thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie feels both like a build up of things that we have seen on the show. That if you have seen the show, you're like, oh, I totally understand the stakes. I know why Anya will run off into the night
Yeah.
to do her own thing to keep her family together. You understand that there are some stakes, even though this is still a sitcom, so like everything will be fine at the end
Yeah.
probably because they need to keep going. But there are stakes because we have seen the show for 2 seasons, and yet I feel like this is the best way to introduce the show to
It
people,
is.
because at
It
this
is.
point you not only have the family, but you have Bob,
You
the
have the
number one, the
dog.
best boy, the adorable, the best dog on television right now. And you have to wait so long to get to Bond in the anime. So might as well you start with this.
Yeah.
You get all the stakes, you know what's happening, you get a fun little story. And even if you go back and watch it from the beginning after this, it feels cohesive, kind of mostly.
Yeah. Well, and that's like one of the weird things too, because I remember like some of like my first like shonen anime watches, like movie wise, like Bleach, Inuyasha, the DBZ stuff. And I remember watching them, and sometimes they would feel so tonally different and just like different altogether than what I would go back in to watch. Like I remember I had made like, I think it was collecting the Bleach movies, and I realized that none of them mattered. And that was like one of the weirdest things. And so like the crazy thing is I think what with this movie, with Code White, does what Code White does is what I love that Jujutsu Kaisen did, was that they both are very good gateways to the thing that you're watching. It is like, okay, you don't have 12 hours to watch 24 episodes. But if you watch this 1.5 hour thing or however long it is and you like it, I can tell you can now go invest 24 hours of your time to watch two 24 episode seasons. And I think that like being able to have a film that works as shorthand that somebody is walking into and they're not getting something that is so drastically different than the show that they're about to watch. I think that that is really important. And it's exciting. It's exciting. I genuinely think, and I think what you said about it being like the sitcom movie is perfect, because I feel like I could show this to my mother and she would love it. Like she would just love it on like
Oh,
the
my
basis of
mom
being an
loves the
animated
show.
movie.
My mom adores this show. But to be honest, but the only anime my mom has watched is Attack on Titan, and she loves it. So don't. I don't know.
My the
Her
only
her
anime
taste is
my
weird.
the only anime my mom has watched was Star Wars Visions.
I mean,
In
that
which she
that that one
called me and
makes
she
more
was
sense.
like, "Is this that Japanimation?" I was like, "Oh my God, mother." Yeah,
Yeah,
decades behind, but
yeah,
yes, I'm glad you
yeah,
got here. But
yeah.
no, this is something I want to show her. I think that this is, and I think that it is probably, I think when people think of anime, I think that there is still a very big stigma around it on what you need to know going into it and the types of stories that get told. And I think what this does is it presents a very wholesome, a very adorable, a very like low stakes entry point for somebody to come in and fall in love with something that like has it took over manga. It's got, I think it's an Eisner Award winner now. It's like
That would make sense to me.
I think it's an Eisner. I'm gonna Yeah, okay, no. So
But
it did
yeah,
not win, but it was nominated for multiple Eisner Awards and Harvey Awards. And yeah, like there's a reason that this is a success. There's a reason the show is a success. And I think this movie is like it captures all of the things that are right about it, while I think leaving out some of the things I don't like about it in a very
oh
good
yeah,
way.
yours brother most of
Oh
all.
God, yes. I hate him. I hate him so he
He's
ruins
tolerable here.
everything. He
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
To be honest,
And I
I just
love the joke at the end of the film where it's recognizing that he just doesn't matter.
yes. But yeah, other than him, like to your point, like I think I will recommend, like this is an easy anime to recommend to people who don't watch anime
Yes.
or who think like that. Like
Yes.
it's wholesome sitcom The Americans. That's how I've
Exactly.
sold it to people,
Yeah.
and they are into it.
That's good. That's good.
What's not to like?
Yeah.
And there's a dog in it. Like what else do you need?
It's funny when I wrote up my review and I posted like the tweet for it, I was like, if you really love Mission Impossible, you'll really love Spy
That
Family
too,
Code White.
yeah. I mean, there's so much, specifically this movie. Like
They're all
as we've been saying, like
references.
there's the references. There's the fact that because of their different professions and like what each character brings to the show, like you have so many genres in this. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
fact that there's the Mission Impossible thing, but there's also like this yeah, like the spy stuff, the assassin stuff, the mecha fight, the fact that like a big part of the plot just involves a kid not being able to go, having to hold it in and not go to the bathroom,
Yes, okay.
and
The
it
fact that
somehow
they're
is hilarious and works.
there is a musical sequence about Anya not wanting to pass the
Yeah.
thing that she has eaten to save the world. And it goes on for so long. And yet
I mean,
it was
hey,
adorable.
trust in
And
toilet God.
and like the ant like what I also like that they did very specifically is I feel like with each of and I think because of budgetary reasons you don't get this as much in the anime series, but I think in the feature there are slight variations in the animation done for each of like the genres that are happening as you move through
Yeah.
it, and then specifically the illustrative style for Anya's musical, I think is so perfect. And even the way that it's written, like from the perspective of a kid who's the toilet god, the nice teacher who actually likes her at Eden Academy. Like yeah, it's so heartfelt and wholesome, and I think that like it's so good. And I was gonna complain, I was like, man, why wasn't this a December movie? And I was like, oh yeah, we get everything late. It was. It was a
Yes, it
holiday
was.
movie.
It was.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And yeah, you just brought it up because we talk about like the story, but we haven't talked that much about like the animation. And I kind of the top of my head, I should have remember what other like features Cloverworks has done. But I
Mm.
am inclined to say this is the best thing with Studios has done like feature wise
Oh,
by
yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Uh like
I
this
think
looks
did Wit do
amazing.
Bubble?
Yes.
I think they did
That's what I'm
Bubble.
specifically saying.
Yeah.
This is the best thing they've done.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm saying it. Yeah.
yes.
I feel like Cloverworks has done something else, movie wise, but um, yeah, I think like their partnership has worked really well in the anime, and I think this shows that oh no, like they've got something special here.
They really do. I do think as I think between what they've done and then what Bones and Orange did with Godzilla Singular Point, I think that like I want to see more studios lightening their workloads by working with partners and investing with people who
Imagine
know how
that.
to different styles, and because it's all better for it. Like the work is better for it. And I think that the ability to craft such a unique voice for each of the characters just through the animation style that you're using is something that is I don't know. It really sets it apart. It really sets it apart. But I'm a fan, like even when one studio does it, like that was one of the reasons why I really liked Inua from Science Saru. There's like 5 different animation styles in that movie. But like
Oh
when
yeah.
you can tell a story through that, I think it just elevates your project even more. Um, but yeah, I mean, is there anything that you would change?
Not really. I mean, it's hard to really find big negatives or complain about like a sitcom movie.
Yeah.
Uh, like I mean, ask me when season 3 starts, if or not they acknowledge this, and even then, I might not care. Like it might not matter to, really.
Yeah. I yeah, it's really weird because I gave it a 9.5 because I was like, I don't think this is a 10. But now
Yeah,
that I'm having to think about it, I'm like, was this a 10? Like
I
is
would
like
say, I would say
I
like
don't think there's
it's one of those that
anything.
is hard for what it is and what it
Yes.
tries to be. Like it does everything right.
Yes. And I think that's my problem
Uh,
is like it
yeah.
knows what it wants, it knows what it's doing, and it executes that so extremely well. Like, and I think that that's where I get a hard time when it comes to like rating this or like finding flaws, because I just think that there are times where an executed concept can just make anything else just kind of fall to the wayside. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it totally does. But yeah, no, I think like this is. I mean, again, that's I was gonna ask you when we get to our scores, but like if you compare it to like because it technically came out last year, at least in Japan, and you compare it to like the other anime movies that we got last
Yeah.
year, like Blue Giant or the
Yeah.
first Slam Dunk, I don't think it's on that level. I mean, it
Yes.
might be, but I think it's the lesser of the three. For example,
Yeah.
if we compare it to Shonen movies, I think it's like one of the best ones, at
Oh,
least in a
yeah.
good manner.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a good
that's where I
litmus.
get to.
Yeah, I think that's a good litmus test. Like I think if you put it against American animated films, I think it kicks butt. in pretty much all of them. If you put it against, like you said, like the other Japanese feature animated films that we got last year, I think, oh, well, it's not as strong just because it doesn't have as much
But that
oomph
was an
to the
excellent year as
story.
well.
Oh yeah, like last year everybody came out swinging. But yeah, I think the only other shonen anime movie that has like been like way up there is like I can judge this as an individual film and like stand on top. Like this is up there with Jujutsu Kaisen 0 for me. Like I
Yes,
like it
yes.
understands what it is so phenomenally that I can
And
see
even then,
people
like
going to
Jujutsu
watch
Kaisen
this.
Zero was an adaptation.
Yeah, no, you're
So
oh
even
yeah.
then, like
Even then
that's
technically they already
on a
had some
different level. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because this
If you
is an
compare to
entirely
like,
original story, right?
yeah, they have more in common to your like 1500 My Hero Academia movies, yours, what is it now, 25 One Piece movies. And compared to
Yeah.
any of those, this is great.
Yes, no, yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Because I think I've only really liked one of the My Hero movies.
Man, this I don't even remember
There's
half
like
of
there's
them.
only
I
three.
like scenes.
There's
Is it only three?
three.
It feels
There's
like
only
more.
three.
It feels like more.
Uh, but yeah, so what would you rate this?
I mean, I don't like rating it, but yeah, I would say like a 9.5.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I mean, if we were to like make like a pantheon of like shonen movies, then I will give it a 10 and be like at the, if not the
Yes.
first one, like at the top, towards the top.
Against its own
Uh,
genre, it's a 10.
yeah, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But on its own, like, yeah, I would still get a 9, 9.5. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's definitely strong. This is so I think the cool thing that I'm excited about is what I'm hoping because it's getting wide release here in the US. And I think that's what I really like about Crunchyroll getting a lot of the
Oh yeah,
releases
we're
for these
getting in Norway
because
too,
it's
like all
yeah.
over the world.
Oh, really?
That doesn't happen.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like I for all of the issues that the company has had recently with some of their statements, I think what's been phenomenal is to just like I don't have to go find the one theater in my city that plays it. Like it is going to play everywhere. And I can see little kids seeing like Anya like on the poster and being like, let's go watch that
Yeah.
one. And so many new weebs are gonna be born on
Because
April
that's the
18th.
other thing. This is like the only kid-friendly movie
Oh yeah,
around
this is like a
for a
kid movie.
while.
Like this is a child movie in like the best
Yeah.
ways, which is crazy too because like I've been thinking about it like going back and forth with like I and this is what I hate about using demographics to define almost like a genre for things because
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
only shonen because it's published in Shonen Jump, the same way Hell's
yeah.
Paradise was shonen, even though it was seinen, because it was published in the US and shonen.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that how it's lost a lot because I feel like this is like the perfect all ages thing, like truly all
Oh
ages,
yeah.
not teen and up, but all like little kids to
And
teens to
actual old
adults
age
can
is
go.
not family friendly by meaning kids only. Like literally, it
Exactly.
doesn't matter how old you are.
Yes.
There's something here that you might
Yes.
enjoy.
Well, and I think that that's one of the things that I've thought as well. Like when I do think that there is space to compare it against, like on its own outside of its series against some of like the
Mhm.
Disney and Pixar films or even the DreamWorks films is because it's hitting on those levels. It's hitting those age groups and engaging with them. Or like you said, like the SpongeBob movie, it's engaging all the ages and it's doing so very specifically, very methodically, and in a way that doesn't forget anybody else is in the picture. And I think
And
now
if we were in the right timeline, this would be like the Incredibles type success.
yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
that's also like a very action heavy movie that's also
Yeah.
very like all about family. You see how like kids jokes and like fart jokes and all of that stuff. And some rather kick-ass action. Like this has all of that.
Yes.
And also a toilet god.
Yes.
And a dog that sees the future. Like what else do you want?
Yes. No, 100%. Well, Raphael, where can everybody find you? Oh, actually, no. So you want people to go watch this? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone with a pulse should go see this.
If you like dogs, if you like Mission Impossible, if you like really pretty assassin ladies,
Oh
you
yeah.
should go watch this. Raphael, where can everybody find you?
I'm on social media, just my name, Rafael Montamayor. That's Motamayor. You can find my writing on Slash Film, and I think in the near future, Prime Timer and IndieWire.
And you can find me at Randier on all of our social medias, and you can find all of our writing, including my written review of this film on butwhytho.net. You can also click the little link down below. I don't know why I still do the pointy thingy. I think that just shows how old I am in this YouTube stuff. But anyway, everybody go try and get your Stella stars. Yeah, this film sure got some.